business owners and executives from around the Valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for watching Business Leaders right here on KMPH Fox 26. I'm Lance Cardoza, and I want to make sure we thank our sponsor of the show, Flooring Liquidators. Their great support brings you Business Leaders every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. I have Kenan Ammons from Ammons Design and Home Decor on the show. He started his business in October of 2019, just 6 months before the pandemic hit. And as all small business owners experience that, it was a tough go, especially when you're just getting started. Kenan, thank you for being on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, and I want to hear your story. We've maybe had one little phone call.
Yes.
I don't know too much about you, but I'm very excited to tell your story here on Business Leaders.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Did you grow up in the area, or where did you grow up?
I grew up in Milledgeville, Georgia. Yes.
Okay.
And so not from the Central Valley. I love the Central Valley. My mom actually moved out here, and so this is definitely home now. But I'm from Georgia.
From Georgia, and
Yes.
so Ammons Design and Home Decor.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about your business.
Ammons Design and Home Decor is unique because what we really want to offer the Central Valley is, one, to be a part of the community. I love community. That's definitely one thing in Georgia that was really important growing up. But coming to Fresno, I wanted to be a part of everything here, what the Central Valley has to offer. When I started kind of embedding myself in the local business that deals with home decor, I saw that there was a really big opportunity for those unique one-of-a-kind pieces, like those curated pieces, having a unique experience when you're trying to design your home or an investment property. And so that's what I wanted to bring. I wanted to bring those beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces. And so it's not necessarily like a furniture showroom. It's more so like where you would go to find something that's unique, that's just for you.
And unique just for you. And I hosted a radio show for years, and I had Michael Maloney, and you probably know the name Michael Maloney from Extreme Home Makeover.
Yes, yes.
And Michael had a very similar story of yours too, that I think it was mom, and he was trying to figure out what he was going to do, and he refurbished furniture in LA and was such a good salesman. He refurbished it, made it beautiful, and found a good place in their home for it, and then created a design around the piece.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so it's a very similar story. And then look, where he's taken off, to that. And he said, all of a sudden, I'm working out of my mom's garage. Then all of a sudden, he's on KTLA and all these TV shows in LA. And here you are.
I know.
You're doing your show.
It kind of started the same way. I used to be a general manager for a construction company, so it's completely different. And but I would love decor and design, and so the only way I could express myself was every room in my home was a different theme. So I had a modern home, a French country room, a French country. I had a Scandinavian. Downstairs was glam. I just wanted to kind of experience all those different styles and looks and techniques of just appreciating it.
Yeah.
But that's where it started. I didn't even know I was going to get into the interior home and designing.
Just was a passion. And you were good at it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so when did you find out when you were good at that? Was it doing something for mom?
I've shared this a lot. I had a friend, and she was getting married here locally, and her parents had planned this beautiful wedding. And it's sort of a long story, but the wedding planner wasn't able to come the last 3 days of the wedding. And it was a huge wedding, wedding. They had put in an Olympic pool, built a house behind their home. They had landscaped over an acre. And she called me crying, and she said, "Kenan, you're the only person I know that can pull it together at the last minute." And I said, "I don't know anything about this wedding. I don't know. Yeah.
Give me some details.
You can do it." She said, "Just come and do it." And her father, I think he paid I think it was like $250,000 for this wedding.
Yeah.
I took over. He never knew that I wasn't the wedding planner. We finished it, and it gave me the confidence to say, you know what, I can handle pressure. And so that's where I kind of started developing the confidence, because he loved it. He loved the wedding. She loved it. She thought it was beautiful. And so it kind of got me excited. Maybe I can do this,
How old were you at that time?
That was about 4 years ago. I'm 43 now. So
so late in life.
Yeah,
later in life, and you found that passion. And I tell people all the time, with a young entrepreneur, I always say, be careful what you say to them too, because you don't want to crush their dreams, but you don't want them to have a pipe dream.
Right.
You want them to be realistic and know that
Absolutely.
you can. If you put the effort forward, you can do it. And if you're sitting at home and you're wondering what I'm doing in my life, or I need a job, or I want to be the next rap star, or whatever it is,
Absolutely.
get real. Get
Yeah.
real with yourself and apply hustle,
Yes.
effort, passion.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and love what you do.
Yes.
I remember my dad told me one time, "Kid, do you love what you do?" And I had to question myself. I was doing advertising sales at the time, and I was like, I don't know, and it made you question that. And sometimes it takes one person that you trust, that believes in you,
Yes.
to give you that fuel and that fire,
Absolutely.
like she did.
Yes, yeah.
Like she did.
That person for me was Adriana. She's one of my closest friends, and she always supported me. And
Yeah.
so she really pushed me to be that person.
She believed in you.
She believed in me.
Yeah, awesome. And so how do people find your location?
I'm at the corner of Marks and Bullard. I'm right by Videos, the Italian restaurant.
Okay.
And so we took the space that's 2 doors down from Videos. And it's been great. We actually expanded. The first year we were in one space, and then there was a gym beside us. And the second year, the gym ended up moving out, unfortunately, due to COVID.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is it. Like, it's either now or never. So we expanded. We tore the wall down, and now we're in 2 spaces, and we have a showroom, and that's where people come in. And if they have a space in their home where they're saying, Kenan, I want to redesign it, they can come in and sit down with us, and we'll go over those plans with them, and we'll help them to kind of create their dream home. That's what it's about. It's creating the dream home. Yeah.
Or maybe recreating what, things change and times change and trends change.
Absolutely.
But a lot of retro comes back
Yes.
into modern too.
I always start with what they love. It's interesting. So many times I found that my customers are too hard on themselves. Like, they'll have beautiful furniture and they'll say, well, I don't know if this is right or wrong. Typically it's right, because they'll have the right idea. They just need a little bit of help creating flow or continuity, or mixing textures, or fabrics, or just bringing it a little bit up to date. But I really do enjoy helping someone to see the beauty and value in what they already have, because they bought it for a reason. They loved it, you know. It's definitely not my modus operandi to go in and just say, oh no, all this is wrong, you should change it. No, you love it.
That's for the TV shows and the movies.
Right, and none of that's real anyway.
I'm sure there's a couple people like that out there. Kenan, don't go away.
Thank you.
There's more business leaders to come. Make sure, if you'd like to find out who's going to be on the next Business Leaders, you can go to businessleaders.tv right here on KMPH Fox 26, and you can go to the website below it, businessleaders.tv. We'll be right back with Kenan with Ammons Design and Home Decor. Don't go away.
Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back, everybody, to Business Leaders. Lance Cardoza. I'm here with Kenan with Ammons Design and Home Decor. I keep wanting to flip it all the time.
It's okay, I
it's
do it too.
Design and Home Decor.
Yes.
And there's a difference between that home decoration and decor and design of your space.
Absolutely.
And that's the business that you're in. And that's what your showroom shows.
Yes. Yeah, that's how we got started, really. I created different vignettes in the store. So when you walk in, it is a unique experience because they're modern. There's a modern vignette where a lot of the pieces are kind of black and white, more minimalistic types of a setup, contemporary. And then there's traditional, and then there's a little bit more of an organic. There's a section where it's all Asian statuary, religious. I do a lot of religious pieces. So because of that, when customers would come in, they would say, oh, well, who designed your store? And I was like, oh, I designed the store.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you should come and design my home. And that's kind of where it all started.
They almost think like you're just a decor,
Yes.
but you do the design
We do
and
the
bring the
design
elements
also.
together.
Yes.
To create that design with the decor. And vintage pieces, talk to me about that too, because I know a lot of refurbished pieces or a lot of retro throwback I'm seeing in modern designs.
Oh, it's hot right now. Yes, absolutely. Mid-century modern is hot. It's there's, every different type, that we work with. Traditional home decor, the modern mid-century, the Victorian even. Of course, you see a lot of the French country and the modern country. That's very popular right now. But all of those different pieces, those different types have an upscale, kind of like in a mid-range. And what we try and do is blend the two. And so that way you really don't have to spend a fortune to have a beautiful home. And that's really well curated, I guess you should say. And so that whole experience of trying to help the customer to have that home is what's most important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the showroom plays a big piece in that? Because I think people they're visual.
Yes.
They probably find something online
Yes.
and bring it to you and
They
say,
do.
I want that.
They
You
say,
know?
yes, even for investment properties, they'll say, you know, they'll have a cabin or something. They'll say, I want my Airbnb to look like this. And, you know, we'll go up and I have a painter, I have a contractor, and we'll go and just finish the whole project. So we can do anything. We could, from myself going in and helping you design your home, to me bringing in a full team and redesigning your entire home from start to finish.
Start to finish. And is that the best process? Is that what you recommend first? If someone's at home watching Business Leaders here on KMPH Fox 26, they say, Kenan, I would like your team or you guys to come see, or should I come down to the showroom? What's the first step typically?
The first I would say, definitely come to the showroom. Come see it and experience that. That's a lot of fun. But then after that, the consultation is phenomenal, because then I actually have an opportunity to come into your space and see what it is that you love. Because that's what's really important to me, is what you love.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmothers are so different. My one grandmother, she was like, huge farm, you know, she had wooden pigs, and you know, everything was just very simple, and it was beautiful. It was home.
Yeah.
And then my other grandmother was complete glam. She loved everything was covered. The china you don't touch. The table was always set. You know, very prim, very proper. So I kind of developed an appreciation for everything. So there is no right or wrong. There is what is it that you love, and what is it that makes you feel safe and comfortable in your home.
Makes you feel home.
Yeah. So we would start with the consultation to come out and see your space, and then from there kind of work out a plan that works out best for you.
Do you feel also too that a lot of times, like your home, you mentioned that every room is a different showroom.
Yes.
Some people are that way. They have an eclectic,
Very eclectic
mind, and they want to change maybe the bathroom or the master bedroom, and
absolutely
things are different, and that's okay.
That's okay. There's no right. Yeah, and I have a client that I'm working with now, and she and her husband lived in Kenya for years. So they had these beautiful African masks, and so I said, bring them out. Let's create a, you know, like a gallery wall. And she was afraid to incorporate that into her home because of, you know, not being sure exactly how to do it. But you know, it's interesting. I think the concept now is what's trending. That's what a lot of people are concerned about, is what's being current. But when you're in your home, it shouldn't be about what's trending. It's about what makes you feel safe and comfortable in your home. You know, some people love moody feelings. They want dark walls and dark floors with a little pop of light. Some people hate dark walls. They want light walls, yellows, bright flowers, colors. And all of that's okay, because I love it when they're in tune with what speaks to them. And then we can, after that, we're good to go. We can make it happen.
And that's part of that interview process when they come to your showroom. So you understand the client. And you're not pushing something on them, but you can say, hey, how about a mix of this and this that meets your personality?
Absolutely. And those in the past, in the early 1900s, when you walked into someone's home, it was a reflection of their life. So they would have a statue from wherever they had traveled. They would have a piece of artwork that belonged to a grandmother or grandfather, and there was an appreciation for the diversity and how eclectic it was. Now it seems like everyone's kind of like wanting the same. They're not understanding that it's okay for things to be eclectic, because it's a reflection of you. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to be easy, all the same color. It's okay.
Or every home would look the same.
It
would be boring. It would be nothing
now,
interesting.
furniture stores may want to sell you that way, because then you buy the whole set and you're done. But you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. It's what it makes you comfortable, makes it home.
Absolutely.
Is what you're saying. And again, just real quickly, how do they find your store?
It's on the corner of Marks and Bullard, and it's right by Videos, the Italian restaurant. We're just 2 doors down from Videos, right by the library and Ace and the credit union.
Perfect, and they'll be able to go in your showroom. We're going to take a short break just in a moment, but I want to talk about you growing up, and you, like you say, later in life you got into this business. So what did you see yourself doing in life? We want to talk about that, and probably was not even thinking that it would bring you here and what you're doing here. So we'll be back here in a moment. We'll talk to you about that. Don't go away. Make sure you go to businessleaders.tv to find out information and get a link to Ammons Design and Home Decor. We'll be right back with Kenan here on Business Leaders at KMPH Fox 26.
Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back, everybody. The Business Leader's been here with Kenan, and we were talking about Ammons Design and Home Decor. We're talking about your home and what maybe it needs a change. It needs something that makes it home, Kenan, right?
Yes.
And as a reflection of your personality, like you talked about,
yes.
maybe your travels, and it almost becomes your little museum and sanctuary.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it does. We have clients that are in Carmel, and it's nice because when we do get to travel and go down and work on their homes, you see how it's so different on the coast than it is here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really distinct reflection of what matters, you know. And that's something that's important for us here in the Central Valley too, is to like really embrace what we love. You know, really embrace like all of it. Whether it's you're a farmer and you want to bring those things into your home and have a true farmhouse home, that's beautiful. Yeah, and so that'll never stop. You know, they say, oh, farmhouse is old. No, we have a lot of farmers. It'll never get old here. You know, we're going to keep loving that. And so,
and a lot of legacy and history, and that they keep that alive.
And definitely, I've always shared, if you have something that was given to you or passed down by a relative or someone that you love, and they say, well, you know, I don't know if it'll fit in my home decor. I always say, make that the slowest decision to get rid of that piece. Because, you know, they may be here with you today, but you're going to really regret it later when, you know, if it was a piece given to you by your parent or grandmother and you don't have it anymore. So make decisions slow to downsize.
That's good to hear, because a lot of people are like,
yes,
downsize,
get rid of it.
Get rid of it, but maybe it means something to you.
Yeah.
And if it brings you that little bit of joy, incorporate it into the design somehow.
We do some consignments at the store, and I always recommend just slowly. You know, if you want to consign pieces and downsize, just do 1 or 2 at a time. See how you feel, make sure you're comfortable with it, and kind of go from there.
Growing up, did you think that you would be running a showroom and doing design with Ammons Design and Home Decor?
I thought I was going to be an English teacher growing up. I made a pact with my with one of my close friends that we both decided. Now she's an educator now, so she did her part, but I kind of bailed out. Went to the Air Force. Okay. Ended up moving away, moved to Japan. I spent 6 years there.
Thank you for serving.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for serving our country. I
wish I could have done more, but I was in the military, and then after that I went to Bible school, and so I went to Bible school in Washington, graduated from there, and then after that I was like an associate pastor for years to help troubled soldiers. My heart was kind of wrapped around a lot of the soldiers that felt isolated, and so I wanted to really let them know that they were loved and they weren't alone, you know, because everyone says goodbye and it's like, oh, they're off now, but you know, when they're out on their own, this is the first time they're out on their own, and so a lot of times it really kind of hits them hard. So that was my my concern, to reach out to them, and we had some pretty active programs, and then after a while I ended up here in Fresno. I had a job offer and I accepted it.
Awesome. And that's what I love about this show too, is you learn something about the people, just having a conversation, and a real conversation.
I appreciate that too.
None of this is rehearsed. I mean, we have a conversation. I'm passionate about our veterans, and I'm passionate about 22 former soldiers, veterans, a day commit suicide in our country. And since the pandemic, it's up to almost 30% a day. I know AMVETS is doing a big move to make sure that's out there, making sure that people can make that phone call and get some help. So it's a very
it's a real problem.
It's really that you have took that at heart. You were there, so you know what it's like. Sometimes we can't experience what it's like during wartime, and some of our veterans today that are home during the pandemic, that time of isolation. Some are isolating themselves already because of just PTSD and other issues.
Absolutely, yes.
So taking passion for that and doing that, I commend you and say, you know, incredible job, because a lot of people, the veterans get left behind.
They do. I wish there was more help for mental health.
Yes.
I think that's what is needed.
What was your passion around that? Being in there and serving? And
yes. Yeah, I had a situation where there was a soldier that did commit suicide that I knew personally, and it bothered me. So we ended up in Junction City, Kansas, which is, at that time, it was that Army base that was the highest level of suicides that were committed on that particular base. So that's what brought me out there.
Yeah.
And then from there I came here.
And brought your attention to it to
yes.
focus on it. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And,
Yeah,
and I'm sure if you're a veteran at home, if you go to businessleaders.tv, we have a number on there and a link where you can get some help.
That's awesome.
And there's people there for you, or a spouse or significant other that's around that veteran that you see they're troubled. You can make that phone call and help them out as well. So appreciate you, Kenan, sharing that and bringing light to that. With your showroom, and people were hearing your story here on Business Leaders, again, sometimes that's a daunting task to say, maybe it's too expensive, or maybe it's not, you know, and just coming to talk to you doesn't cost them probably anything.
Doesn't cost anything. You can bring pictures and say, hey, you know, this is what we're working with, and I'll help you right there on the spot. I love my customers. I appreciate them. Because of COVID, I haven't been able to hug them and tackle them, but I used to. And
He's not going to tackle you.
No, I'm not going to tackle you. I'll think about it. But I won't do it. I think that was a misconception too, opening the showroom, because looking inside, it looks like, oh my God, you know, is it really expensive? Well, what we do is we try to blend the inexpensive with the mid with the expensive. And so it depends on what your taste is, but you really don't have to spend a lot of money to have a beautifully curated home. You really don't. And that's something that's important for me to help people to do. I've actually, you know, thought of that in the past and made sure that was important.
Perfect. So Ammons Design and Home Decor, thank you for being on my show, Kenan. I appreciate it. And you got to go down and you got to check out their showroom. And we'll have the information here at businessleaders.tv. Make sure you go below and join our VIP club. We'll be here next week, Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. for another episode of Business Leaders here on businessleaders.tv.